Dear students, we are continuing our discussion on our fifth module. In first video lecture, we are discussed about the different material handling systems. In this video lecture, it's a small video lecture. Here we are discussing about how we will select a based on which all parameters and design a material handling system. So this is syllabus part. So we already discussed the major part in our first module. Here we will mainly focus on design of a material handling system. So selection and design of material handling system. We know that the selection and design of material handling system should be done alongside of development of layout, because the different material handling systems used is one of the major consideration in layout planning. So nowadays we know that we are most of the firm, almost all firms, we are used a computerized approach. So usually there are many softwares are there for design. We have studied about different plan layout softwares in module 2. Hope you are remembering that. So a computerized technique called computerized facilities design. Computerized facility design I have developed to integrate the both material handling as well as plan layout. We already discussed COFAC in module 2. So actually here in computerized facilities design, while we are designing a plan layout, that system also try to design the different material handling system used in that plant. So that's very easy, right? So while we're designing a plan layout itself, while we are using computerized facilities design, while designing the plan layout itself, that system will try to design different material handling system used in that plan layout. So what are the steps in use for design? So what are the steps for designing a material handling system? What are the steps for finding selection and designing a material handling system? The first one is identification of the system. We need to identify what are the different types of material handling system available, and what are the which type of material handling system we need. Second step, review the design criteria and objectives of material handling system. We need to find out that based on which all parameter, either we are either based on functional parameter or a material parameter, or based on the path transportation, or based on which all parameters we are going to design. We need to find out the basic parameters for designing a material handling system. Third step, data collection. We need to find the all data regarding our material handling system, like how much distance we need to move, how much time taken for travel, the weight we need to carry, the space available, like that all data we are collecting. Fourth one, identification of activity relations. We need to find a activity relationship diagram. Hope you are all remembering how to formulate a activity relationship diagram. And then we will need to for what purpose we need to find activity relationship diagram. Activity relationship diagram will give you the input that which all equipments are connected to each other, which all equipments have a strong relation, which all equipments do not have a relation. The two equipments which have a strong relation in terms of material movement, we need to have to give a space, or have to be in a near way. We need to define that two equipments in a nearby space for reducing the total distance to be traveled. So active relationship diagram will give you an idea which all equipments, which all parameters have a strong relation. That strong relation parameters has to be considered. First step, determination of space requirement and establish the material for pattern. We need to know how much space required. We need to find out where we are going to place all these equipments. Sixth, analyze the material and building characteristics. Of course, according to the building characteristics, according to material characteristics, the material handling system we are going to use will be changed, right? So according to the space and building shape, building characteristics or material characteristics we are using, the type we are using, the method what we are using will be different. Seventh one will be a preliminary selection. We will try to formulate a 3 or 4 or 4 or 5. We will select some alternatives, some selection. We have choice from a actually initially we will have a n number of choices will be there. From where in step 7, by considering all these parameters, we will come into a 4 or 5 alternatives. Where from these alternatives we will select one. Step 8, evaluation of alternatives with respect to material flow, utilization of gravity, minimization of cost, flexibility, ease of maintenance, capacity utilization. Based on the basic objectives, we will evaluate the alternatives, and we will find which alternative is best, which alternative have a good optimum material flow, which alternative have the will use the gravity more. Alternative is which type of material handling equipment have optimum material flow, which type of material handling equipment have using gravity more. Like that we will give a value. 9th step, select the best alternative by this comparison. Step 10, we will make a specification based on the parameters, and finally we will go for the procurement. So these are a pattern, a procedure by using for selecting and design a material handling system. What is clear? So what are the factors we need to parameter? Factors affecting material handling system. Uh, we know that selection of material handling equipment requires attention proper balance between a production system, capabilities of equipment available, and human elements involved. While we are selecting a material handling system, we need to check the production problem. For which type of production system we are going to use is the capabilities of equipment available, which all equipments are available and their capabilities, and human elements, which the human power required or the manpower required for each one. And but by considering all these parameters only, finally we will select the best one which have reduced the material handling cost as low as possible. So according to the figure as shown in the slide, we need to check the technical feasibility by checking material flow requirements as well as material handling equipment database. According material flow requirements will be our input based on which all parameters we are going to choose, and material handling equipment database will give the different alternatives. By checking all the technical feasibility, we will come with some alternatives, and by checking each alternative in a detailed way, for by checking the economical feasibility, by checking the material flow rate, equipment data, etc. By checking each economic feasibility, and we will select the best material handling system possible. So, based on which all parameters we will choose the equipment. These are some of the parameters, some of the factors we need to consider while we are selecting a equipment, material handling equipment. Adaptability will be the load carrying movement characteristics of equipment should be fit the material handling problem. Flexibility, load capacity, how much is possible, power, speed, the space requirement, supervision required, ease of maintenance, environmental, and cost. These are some of the factors we need to select which all material handling equipment we are using. The material handling equipment we are selecting, how much is adaptable, how much flexibility, how much load can carry, how much power is required, the speed we will get, how much space it will take, how in terms of maintenance as well as supervision. Based on all these parameters, we will choose which all material handling equipments. We know that material handling equipments will be carts, hand trucks, forklifts, conveyors, whatever it may be. It can be motorized. Material handling equipment can be, in a generalized term, we already discussed in module 3. It is the equipment used for transportation, it is the equipment used for storage, it is the equipment used to handle any material. Okay, so it's not only for transportation, it's for storage itself, it's for It's for what we have called for measuring the weight, whatever it may be. For whatever the material handling equipment, we need to consider the parameters, factors we had discussed in the last slide. So it can be carts, hand trucks, forklift, conveyors, also limited to self pictures, motorized, puller jack trucks, whatever the industrial trucks, whatever the material handling equipment we are, we need to consider the following the parameters we are considered last slide. And last slide, we know that the need of maintenance in material handling equipment. Why? As we know that in today's economic climate of high labor and capital equipment costs, unexpected mission failures can seriously affect the total productivity and profit. So we need to have a proper maintenance schedule. We need to have a proper maintenance schedule. Usually we know that what are the different types of maintenance? Predictive maintenance as well as breakdown maintenance. So we need to have a detailed preventive maintenance system for maintaining this equipment. So because uh, through proper preventive maintenance system only we can ensure that material handling equipment will work in a high efficiency and having a good running condition. So importance of maintenance in material handling equipment is very important. We should have a proper monitored proper monitored maintenance system. So these are the major discussions in fifth module. I already shared this slide to you in your Google Classroom and already shared the important question and answers. Along with that, I am sharing this video too for helping you to study better. I hope you are going through this material. Thank you.